Welcome back to hunt training. Just finished a little range session trying to get back into the swing of things, into the shooting the pew-pews, you know, being a good protector, being able to do the right things for God, family, and country. You know, since the Charlie Kirk assassination, it, you know, dove back in and really started to get back reinformed with all the political nonsense and really everything that's been going on in the world. And man, is it a lot. Anyway, not really what I wanted to talk about today, but because I've been going back through all that stuff and getting into the, you know, Charlie Kirk stuff and watching his videos again and thinking about, you know, the person I want to be, the husband, the father, you know, all that. So obviously for Charlie, God came first. You know, I hope God bless you today and your family. We're not here to talk about that today. Obviously it's super important. I think you know that, I know that, but what I'm really here to talk about today is the second part, which is family. Having to reevaluate how we, you know, if we're doing our job as people within a family. And so I have come to the realization that I've kind of let my family down, not with anything really remarkable, just the fact that I'm not providing for my family like I need to be. I could sit here and make excuses all day long. I could. I mean, I farm for a living, and if you want to see some of the struggles we've had, you can go to the link in the description and check out my other channel. It has definitely been difficult. It's definitely been a very hard 5 years since we moved back to Idaho, ever since COVID. But in the end of the day, that is an excuse, and we have to learn to get past those things. And you know, some of those things that Charlie said, you know, number one, a man has to provide for his family. I have a wife and two little girls. There's some things that we've had to miss out on because we weren't able to, and it's little things. And we would be much better off if I would have been a better provider. The reason, like, it comes down to is a couple of things. One, I just haven't brought in, you know, what I needed to. And that puts stress on all of us because, you know, my wife made a lot of money before and then COVID happened and all that stuff. And so, you know, yes, we've shrunk our lifestyle quite a bit, but still it's gotten to the point where even it's hard to, you know, take care of the bare necessities, the power bill, the, you know, payments every month that we have, you know, the things just with daily life. And like I said, we've shrunk a lot, and you know, my wife and my daughter's wife's given up quite a bit. You know, we've sold off assets. You know, we've lost quite a few things, and you know, we almost lost the farm too at one point. But the farm itself is a lot better off now. But us personally, we just, you know, we still are not. I'm not doing what I need to do, and that hurts me because, you know, selfishly, I have the little things that I want too, you know, and it may only be $10 or here, $20 there, but selfishly, I have noticed, you know, just reflecting that I have taken little things that I wanted, and that affects what I can do for my family, and that's not okay. So, you know, even though it's so minute and it seems so little, you know, over time it adds up. And that's a big reason why, you know, the gun stuff, you know, why it's kind of really gone away. It's because I thought I, you know, was giving up this stuff and that would help, because this is expensive too. Yes, it is part of being in a family, being a protector of the family. It requires maintenance. It requires, you know, continual input of funds, but it doesn't take a whole lot of, once you get to a certain level, it doesn't take a whole lot to maintain. You don't need the coolest new stuff. You don't need any of that. And I haven't been buying that, but it's just the little things, right? And then on top of that, there's times where I've been burnt out. I've been lazy, and I've let that get to me. And I've known this, but at the end of the day, there was no action. There was no like, okay, what do I do now? How do I fix this? How do I move forward? And I've let, you know, and I'm also in a little bit of sales stuff, you know, do a little sales on the side, still ag-related stuff, but I let my insecurities of like talking to people, getting turned down and all that stuff affect me going out there and selling more product. Number one, that hurts my family, but number two, the product that I have actually works and actually is a good thing for farmers and can actually help save farmers money, once they get started on it, it's just getting them to get going on it. I'm a small fish in a really big pond when it comes to that, and I've always used that as an excuse instead of continuing to push forward. I think I fell into the trap that a lot of us 30-something millennials have fallen into, is that we've gotten really used to instant gratification. We've gotten really used to the victimhood stuff. You know, I went to university, I'm university educated, and I saw it all the time, and it's sad because in some small ways, I've become what I despise. In the back of my head saying, you know, I'm going to pay my student loans off, but man, it would be nice if the government forgave them. I don't want the government to forgive them because I know that I still pay taxes too. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it would be nice. You know, it's little things like that that have really kind of shook me to my core. Just, it's really disheartening that I'm not providing for my family in a way that I feel is acceptable. I guess moving forward, what I'm saying is I'm making a concerted effort to do the things as best as I can to provide for my family. Even if I have to go get a job in town, which would really stink. And that's kind of been the stink this whole time. It's like, look, I could go get a regular job and do all this stuff and not farm. And I've kind of pushed back against that selfishly, honestly, because I don't think there's ever a more rewarding thing to do but farm and grow food for people. And unfortunately, it's been a pretty big failure for 4 years in a row. It looks like this year is going to be good, which is a nice change. But man, just a few little mistakes and it really set us back. And then it snowballed. And I kept letting it snowball. So in honor of being a better person and trying to be more like Charlie, because Charlie is a good example to follow. That's the kind of person I want to be. Obviously, we're not going to agree 100% on everything, but I'm 95% or better with what Charlie agrees with. So I think that's a good model, even though technically he was only a year older than I am. It's a good framework to follow. So I don't know if being a better provider is making more videos, making more content. I enjoy making content. Another thing selfishly, like, right, I enjoy making content. It does make, my other channel, it does make a little bit of income. And we do have opportunities there, but it's not enough, I don't think, to justify it yet. And obviously with the, you know, pews, it's changed a lot, and you don't make money on YouTube with the pews. You make money, you know, with the brand deals, and obviously my channel is way small. And I guess it's going to take, really what it'll take is 2 weeks of quite a bit of effort to see if the channel will grow. And if the channel grows at a rate that's reasonable, it would be reasonable to continue down that path. You know, and I'm probably going to have to put out, I don't know, 8 videos. I think 8 videos in 2 or 3 weeks will tell me a lot about, do I have a reasonable expectation of a future in making videos for YouTube in this manner? The farm stuff, I don't know. I do it because I like to do it. I like to make videos. I like to, you know, get stuff out there, because obviously this is the way we communicate a lot nowadays. So in closing, I would just say, make sure, gentlemen, you're checking yourself. Those little selfish things you want, whether, you know, playing video games or buying that new gadget for your, you know, whatever, getting out of debt, making sure the payments are made, making sure your family's taken care of is definitely more important. Not to say that dry fire and being a protector and stuff is not important, but I mean, if you get one gun and get really good with it, I mean, you really don't need any more. And that would be, honestly, anymore, I feel like that's a good suggestion. Buy one good handgun and one good rifle and get really good with them when you're able. And hopefully your spouse will become part of that, because some things my wife and I have talked about, you know, she never really wanted to carry a gun until now. And it seems like every day we're seeing more and more of this crazy stuff go on. The church burning and shooting, you know, we've got shooting up ICE detainee facilities. We've got, I mean, there's just so much stuff going on for no reason. And I don't know the person or the motive behind the church shoot or any of that yet, but we'll wait to find out. And I would assume it's the same thing that we've been seeing. leftist crazy stuff that is infected and is destroying our country one thing at a time. But anyway, this video is already dragged on. I have not been the provider I need to be, and I need to be better. And that's what it comes down to. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. And I guess the longer I sit here and ponder it, the worse the situation is going to get. So I guess action is the only reaction. Anyway, God bless. You guys have a wonderful day. Be looking out for videos coming. I've got, you know, a lot of ideas. I've been punching around a lot of ideas in my head. I've got a new video series I kind of want to try. I think it'll be good. I think you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy it. Kind of a little shorter form video, still YouTube video, but a little bit shorter form. Not a short, but a shorter form of video, and just kind of rattling off some things and kind of, you know, trying that context. Gonna revisit some gun stuff. So, you know, there's some things we need to talk about with the old guns and the pistolas and stuff. But other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you. We'll see you next time on Hunt Trading.